In the ancient land of Oroma, where spirits still walked the earth by daylight and ancestors lived beneath the roots of Iroko trees, the people worshipped Anioma, the goddess of silence and vengeance. Her shrine was older than memory, carved from volcanic stone that burned if touched by liars. It stood on a hill surrounded by 7 sacred trees, and no one, not even the king, was allowed to pass its gates, except one. The keeper of Anioma. And in that generation, the keeper was a girl named Ijeoma. Ijeoma was born during an eclipse, in a night so dark that even the stars vanished. Her mother died giving birth. Her father ran mad that same night, laughing into the forest and never returning. The villagers knew immediately, this was no ordinary child. The oracle trembled before her. She is not born of man. She is the will of the goddess clothed in flesh. She is silence made human. Take her to the hill. So at just 9 years old, Ijeoma was stripped of her name, her family, and her voice. She was taken to the shrine and marked with white chalk and charcoal from the sacred flame. From that day, she belonged to the goddess. She was trained in the ancient ways, how to read shadows in oil, how to summon ancestral spirits, how to listen when the god spoke not with thunder, but with silence. For 14 years, she remained within the walls of the shrine. She never saw a market, never danced, never fell in love, never spoke unless commanded by the high priest. Her purpose was clear: to guard the goddess' secret, and to remain untouched, pure in body, soul, and silence. But all that was about to unravel. During the 3rd moon of the season of dust, a man collapsed outside the shrine gates. His name was Obina. He was covered in blood, half-starved, and unconscious. His face was unfamiliar, yet something in Ijeoma's chest stirred when she saw him. A flicker of memory she couldn't place. The rules were clear: no man was to cross the sacred perimeter. Any man who touched the shrine died screaming. But Ijeoma disobeyed. She dragged him inside and nursed him. She healed his wounds with herbs and incantations she wasn't taught. She lied to the high priest. She touched forbidden scrolls. And as Obina recovered, he began to speak. Not with flattery, not with charm, but with truth. He told her about the outside world, the wars, the broken temples, the fading gods. He told her stories that stirred something inside her, stories that made her doubt the silence she had worshipped all her life. One night, as rain fell like ash and thunder broke the sky, she asked, "Why do you not fear the shrine?" He looked her in the eyes and said, "Because the shrine fears you." That night, they kissed. And the flames in the sacred bowls flickered, not with warmth, but with warning. As Obina regained strength, Ijeoma found herself haunted by dreams. A voice, unfamiliar, calling her name from beneath the earth. A child buried alive, calling her mother. A blade carved with her name. And a whisper: "The goddess is a story. And stories can bleed." One night, unable to resist, she descended into the chamber beneath the altar, a forbidden place said to house the bones of Anioma herself. But what she found was not a tomb. It was a library. Scrolls, books, records, hidden truths written in languages long buried. She read them, and she learned the truth. Anioma was never a goddess. She was a priestess, like Ijeoma. Centuries ago, she too fell in love. She too discovered the truth. And she too was betrayed. But unlike Ijeoma, Anioma had tried to escape. The elders caught her and killed her. To cover their shame, they built a myth, turned her name into a deity, her shrine into a prison, and her story into silence. They fed that lie for generations. And every priestess after her was just another offering. Ijeoma confronted Obina. "Who are you really?" He smiled. Sadly, regretfully. "I am her descendant. Anioma's blood runs through me." And I came to find the one who would finish what she started. He handed her a scroll, a prophecy. When the priestess learns the lie and dares to speak, the silence will shatter, and the false gods will fall. But before she could speak, it was already too late. The high priest had been watching all along. Obinna was dragged out, beaten, stripped, and publicly executed. Ijeoma was brought before the village. They accused her of sleeping with the enemy, of breaking her vow, of betraying the goddess. The irony. They were right. She did betray the goddess. Because the goddess was a lie. They bound her hands with sacred rope and nailed her to the altar. They poured oil over her head. They lifted the ceremonial blade. And just before they struck, she screamed a word no priestess had spoken in 500 years. Anioma. The sky turned black. The 7 sacred trees caught fire. The earth split open beneath the shrine. And from the smoke rose a woman made of shadow and ash. Anioma had returned. Not as a goddess, but as a spirit fed by centuries of blood and silence. She took Ijeoma's hand and whispered, "You broke the curse. Now finish the story." Ijeoma opened her eyes. They were white fire. She rose from the altar and turned to the elders. "You bound me to a lie. Now I bind you to truth." She spoke the names of every priestess ever sacrificed. And as she spoke, the high priest choked on his own tongue. The shrine collapsed. The people scattered. But no one escaped. She did not kill them with fire or sword. She made them hear the truth. And the truth drove them mad. Now, the shrine is gone. In its place, a garden grows, silent, sacred, full of voices only the brave can hear. They say if you enter with a pure heart, you hear Ijeoma's voice, soft as the wind, whisper. The gods didn't betray me. The silence did. And now, silence obeys me. No one dares build another shrine. Because they all know. A betrayed priestess is dangerous. But a priestess who survives betrayal becomes a god.